Hello, Standard 6th. This is our 5th chapter from the book Honeysuckle. And what is the name of the chapter? The name of the chapter is A Different Kind of School. Okay, what is the name of the chapter? A Different Kind of School. I'll read the chapter and explain you together. Just keep the book in hand, lesson number 5. The name of the book is Honeysuckle and the name of the lesson is A Different Kind of School. Okay, first we'll look at the introduction of the chapter. What is there in the chapter? What is the chapter about? And then we will read the chapter and I will explain you. So please pay attention in the book. Okay, so let's first move to the introduction. Now in the introduction it says that this lesson is a message about how doing simple things can make learning more interesting and easier. We have read the name of the chapter, The Different Kind of School. Now what type of different kind of school was this? Okay, in this chapter the lesson will tell us that how could you learn or how could you make things more simple so that the learning becomes more interesting and easier. Learning while doing is the best way to learn different things. Learning while doing. Whenever you are doing something, try to learn from it. So this will be the best way to learn different things. Moreover, other than learning routine things, we need to make ourselves aware and concerned about our environment and its problems. Okay, while learning something, you should also be concerned and aware about other things. Okay, if you are learning from the environment, you should also be aware about the problems in the environment. You should also be concerned about our environments. How can we make children more responsible and aware citizens? To know this, let's read the lesson. Now what is the way to make our children more responsible and aware, or make ourselves more responsible? As you are the children right now, you are the kids right now. So how could you make yourself more responsible and more aware citizen? Okay, so let's read the chapter, and through the chapter we can understand this. Okay, so let's move to the chapter now. The narrator had heard a lot of good things about Miss Bean. Now who is the narrator here? The narrator is the person who has written this chapter, or who is talking about this chapter. You can say the author of this chapter. So it is said like, I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance came to visit it. Means, what is the narrator, what is the author trying to say here? The author is trying to say here that he had heard about Miss Beam's school a lot, but he did never get a chance to visit it. Okay, and it was a chance that he got to meet Miss Beam's school was the previous week. When I arrived, there was no one in the sight but a girl of about 12. Her eyes were covered with a bandage, means she had a blindfold on her eyes. Blindfold means to cover your eyes with a something. Okay, on her eyes, and she was being led carefully between the flower beds by a little boy who was over 4 years younger. She stopped, and it looked like she asked him who had come. He seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. Okay, now here the narrator is telling that when he reached Miss Beam's school, There, after reaching at the school, he saw no one there. No one was there except two of them. One was a girl of 12 years and other was a boy, okay, who was 4 years younger than the girl. And he also said that the eyes of the girl was covered with the bandage. Okay, and the boy who was there with the girl, he was guiding her between the flower beds. Suddenly the girl stopped and she asked if somebody had come. Yes, the narrator was there and the girl could experience him, like he was there. She could feel like somebody was there. Okay, so the boy explained about the visitor. So the boy was explaining about the visitor who had come and gave the girl the details about the visitor, and then they passed on. Further, let's read. Miss Beam was all that I had expected, a middle-aged, full of authority, yet kindly and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey, and she had the kind of plump figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple. Okay, now here the author is telling that when he visited Miss Beam's school, he met Miss Beams, and as per narrator's expectation, what had he imagined or what had he expected about Miss Beam? Miss Beam, as per the narrator's expectation, Miss Beam was a middle-aged, dominating yet friendly. Dominating means the one who has all the authorities, the one who had all the powers, and okay, yet friendly and understanding. He is also telling further that Miss Beam's hair was turning grey. She was a fat, but probably was trying to make a homesick child feel to the age. Fat means she was like a plum. Plum means a bit fatty. Okay. Here the author is describing Miss Beam. Okay. What is her looks? How was she looking? The author questioned her, Miss Beam, about the simple methods, okay, she used for teaching. Further, no more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks, during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. Means the author now here wanted to ask Miss Beam about the way of teaching. How was she teaching in her school? So in the reply, Miss Beam said that in her school they taught simply by helping them in some kind of spellings, some adding, some subtraction, some multiplying, and some writing skills. Okay, and rest of the learning, whatever was done in Miss Beam's school, that learning was done by reading. Means her school was a disabled school, you can say, okay, where she had many kind of students who could not hear, somebody could not see, they were blind, somebody could not speak, somebody could not walk, okay, they were lame. Such kind of school was her. So here she is telling that the teaching way in her school was very simple. Okay, the most of the learning was done by spellings, adding, subtraction, multiplying, and all the things, and rest of the learning was done by reading. Okay, at that time it was only that while something was being read, the students were supposed to sit silently. Still means sit without moving. Okay, and except this, there was actually no other lessons being taught in Miss Beam's school. The real aim of this school is not so much to teach thought as to teach thoughtfulness, kindness to others, and being responsible citizen. Look out of the window a minute, will you? Now further, also more she added that other than lessons, whatever was being taught in the school. She added that the actual aim of the school was to teach thoughtfulness to the students. Means, how could you be sensibly kind and concerned towards others and to awaken them of their duties? Though they were disabled, she didn't wanted the students to be dependent on anyone. So, she taught them to be awakened, okay, to their duties. And then she asked the narrator to look out of the window. So, further the narrator says, I went to the window which overlooked a large garden and a playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Beam asked. Now, the narrator went to the window. He viewed from the window. What did the narrator see? From the window, the narrator saw a very big garden and a playground. And after looking at the garden and all, what did Miss Beam ask him? Miss Beam asked him that what was he able to see? Okay. Now, what did the author see in the garden? Okay. What did the author see in the garden? Further, let's read. I see some very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. It pains me, though, I see that they were not all so healthy and active looking. When I came in, I saw one poor little girl being led about. She has some problem with her eyes. Now I can see two more with the same difficulty. And there is a girl with a crutch watching the others at play. She seems to be hopeless cripple. Now what is cripple? Cripple means disabled. Okay, the one who cannot walk, you can say, or the one who is disabled. Further, the narrator is telling that when Miss Beam said him to look out of the garden, and when he looked out of the garden, what was he able to see? He was able to see beautiful grounds. He was able to see many cheerful children. But he also said that he was sad to notice that from that some of the children were not very healthy and active. Okay. And after coming in means after coming from the window, when he came inside, he noticed that a girl who had problem with her eyes, and he also observed that there were two more children of the same kind. He also noticed a girl with the crutches. What is the crutches? The crutches is a long stick by which the lame people walk. Okay. She also saw a girl who was walking with the help of the crutches, means she was lame. She was sitting there, she was watching the children play, and looking at that, she was helpless. Why was she helpless? Because she was lame and she could not play as the other children can. Miss Beam laughed. Oh no, she said. She is not really lame. This is only her lame day. The others were not blind either. It is only their blind day. I must have looked very surprised, for she laughed again. Okay. Now, when the author said what did he see outside the window, he saw a girl who was lame. He saw some children who were blind. He said all this to Miss Beam. Listening to this, Miss Beam laughed and explained that the girl whom the author saw was not blind. Rather, it was her lame day. The others whom the author saw were not blind. The girl whom the author saw was not lame. It was her lame day. And the others whom the author saw was not blind. They but are observing their blind day. Okay. Now listen. The Miss Beam laughed again after looking at the astonished look which the author gave. It is very important part of our system. Further, Miss Beam is explaining him. This is a very important part of our system to make our children appreciate and understand misfortune. We make them share in misfortune too. What is misfortune? Misfortune means unfortunate condition of someone, like bad luck, you can say. We make them share in misfortune too. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely, and they are on their honor not to peep. Means the day which were been distributed. Okay, I'll explain you further. First, let us read. The bandage is not put on overnight, so they wake. The bandage is put on overnight, so they wake up blind. This means that they need help with everything. Other children are given the duty of helping them and leading them about. They all learn so much this way, as both the blind and the helpers. Now here Miss Beam is explaining her way of teaching in her school. What is the learning system of her school? So she more explained, narrator, that to make the children of that school, okay, to make their children appreciate, accept and understand the bad luck which has been there with other students, with the same mind as fortune, they have made their activities as essential part of their system. Means the system which was there in Miss Beam's school, she wanted the other children also to experience that. She wanted the children to feel the same kind which other students who were deaf, dumb and lame felt. Each term, every children in that school were supposed to observe one blind day, one lame day. Blind day means that day the students who were capable, the students who were not disabled, okay, they will observe blind day. Blind day means they will blindfold their eyes and they will be blindfolded the whole day, and they have to work in that way, the same way. One lame day means their one leg will be folded. They only have to walk on one leg. That will be the lame day. A deaf day, injured day and dumb day. On the blind day, what will be done? Their eyes will be blindfolded, okay, and they have to promise that they are not going to peep at all from that blindfold, okay, and all this will be done overnight. Overnight means the morning when they wake up, their eyes will be already blindfolded, okay, and in the same condition they have to work. They will be given the help of other children who are not being blindfolded or not observing blind day, will not observing blind day, they will help them, okay. Now other children have the duty to help and guide them, and this way both the blind and the helpers learn a lot. Means the students who are blindfolded, they will experience what difficulties do blind people face, and the helpers who are helping the blindfolded students, they will also learn how they should help the others, okay. There is no misery about it, Miss Beam continued. Everyone is very kind, and it is really something of a game. Before the day is over, though even the most thoughtless child realizes what misfortune is. Now here Miss Beam further says that this type of game, even a very careless child learns to be responsible at the end of the day. Means these days which are being celebrated, you can say, we will use the word celebrated, this type of are being used in or are being celebrated in Miss Beam's school, so that the children can become responsible. And by this way of learning in her school, the students, or you can say the children who are careless also, They try to be responsible at the end of the day. Now, listening to all these days, the author felt that the blind day is the worst. Why? The blind day is, of course, really the worst. But some of the children tell me that the dumb day is the most difficult. We cannot bandage the children's mouth. Yes. So, they really have to practice their willpower, come into the garden and see for yourself how the children feel about it. Now, blind day means without looking anything, without seeing anything, you have to work. Of course, it is the worst day. But when the narrator asks the children, what did the children say? The children said that the dumb day means the day when they don't have to speak anything. They could not talk. Okay. And that day, their mouth were not bandaged also. Through their willpower, they had to stop themselves from talking. So when the narrator asked the children said that the dumb day was the difficult because first of all their mouth were not bandaged and the children had to use their willpower in that case. Then Miss Beam took the narrator to the garden to let him to watch the children and their feelings himself. So what did Miss Beam do? Miss Beam then took the narrator to the garden and said, sit there and feel and experience. Okay, feel himself how the children were doing. Further, the author is telling us that Miss Beam led me to one of the bandaged girls. Here a gentleman come to talk to you, said Miss Beam and left us. Then Miss Beam took the narrator to a bandaged girl or to the bandaged girls and after introducing to them, she left. She introduced the girls that because the girls were bandaged, she had to tell them that there is a man or there is someone who wants to talk to them. Do you ever peep? I asked the girl. Oh no, she exclaimed. That would be cheating, but I had no idea it was so awful to be blind. You can see a thing. You feel you are going to be hit by something every moment. It's such a relief just to sit down. Okay? Now when Miss Beam took the author to the bandaged girls and they met them, introduced them. After that, the narrator asked the girls that if she ever tried to look out. The girls replied anxiously that it would be cheating if they would have done that. Before this experience, she never realized that being blind was so bad. Now the girl was blindfolded, so she said to the narrator that before this experience of the blind day, she did not know that being blind was so bad. Okay? In which one was not able to see anything and at every step it was a fear of being hit by something. Now here the girl is sharing her experience after being blindfolded. Just sitting down was a comfort. So she felt that if you are blind, it is better to sit somewhere and be comfort. Are your helpers kind to you? I asked. Fairly, but they are not as careful as I shall be when it is my turn. Because those that have been blind already are the best helpers. It's perfectly ghastly not to see. I wish you. Try. Shall I lead you anyway? I asked. Further, the narrator asked, okay, that the helpers who have been given to the blindfolded children to help them out, he asked them that are her helpers very kind? In the response, she said positive. that yes, but according to her, that the intensity of help and care which was being needed by the helpers were very less. Okay, and she also said that she would be a better helper during her turn. When it was going to be her turn also, sometimes she has to help the blindfolded children. And as per her statement, people who had experienced the blindness become better helpers. Right? Means the students who were, the children who have observed the blind day. Here the girl wants to say that the children who had observed the blind day can become a very good helper. Why? Because they have experienced, they would have experienced the blindness previously. As they were able to understand their position, because they would have able to understand their position also, and the inability to see was scary and full of fear. If you cannot see, but natural. If you are being told to walk in a dark place where there is no light at all, where you could not see anything, will you be comfortable to walk it? Will you be comfortable to walk on it? No. It would be a scary and full of fear for you to walk it. Same thing here the girl is explaining. She also said that she wished he could give it a try. She also said to the narrator, if you want, you can also blindfold yourself and experience this. And further the narrator said that if he could show her the way or help her out anyway. Oh yes, let's go for a little walk. Only you must tell me about things. I shall be so glad when today is over. I shall be. The other bad days can't be half as bad as this. Having a leg tied up and hopping. Hopping means to jump, okay? Hopping about on a crutch is almost fun, I guess. Having an arm tied up is the bit more troublesome because you can't eat without help and things like that. I don't think I will mind being deaf for a day, at least not much, but being blind is so frightening. My head aches all the time just from worrying that I will get hurt. Where are we now? Now the author offered her that can he help her, leave her somewhere. In this, the girl replied in expectance and suggested that okay, let's go for a walk. She also asked him that the narrator will tell him all the things. If there is anything, some obstacle, or you can say anything, then it is the author, it is the narrator who will tell her. She said that she would be full of joy when the day is over. She further said that even the bad days would be half as bad than to be the blind. She felt that the other days, like the lame day, the dumb day, the deaf day, okay, are much better than the blind day. Because as per her opinion, other things were fun, like the leg tied, at least you only have to jump from one place to another on a support. Having an arm tied was still annoying. It was difficult to eat without anybody's help. Means if your hands are not there, or if your hands are being tied, but natural, you would need the help of somebody else to help you out for drinking, eating, and all the things. She said that she would not mind to be deaf for a day, but being blind actually scared her, because it troubles her mind with the fear that somewhere or the other she would get hurt. In the playground, I said, we are walking towards the house. Miss Beam is walking up and down the garden with a tall girl. What is the girl wearing? My little friend asked. A blue cotton skirt, a pink blouse. I think it's Millie, she said. What color is her hair? Very light. I said, yes, that's Millie. She's the head girl. there's an old man tying up roses. I said, yes, that's Peter. He is the gardener. He is 100 years old. And here comes a girl with curly red hair. She is on crutches. That's Anita, she said. And so we walked on. Gradually, I discovered that I was 10 times more thoughtful than I ever thought I could be. I also realized that if I had to describe people and things to someone else, it made them more interesting. It made them more interesting to me. When I finally had to leave, I told Miss Beam that I was very sorry to go. Ah, she replied, then there is something in my system after all. Okay, now here the narrator is telling that when the narrator and they were walking, the girl asked her, what did she ask? What did she tell to the narrator? That wherever we go, you are supposed to tell me. So the narrator started telling her that we are in the garden, we are walking towards the house, Miss Beam is standing and with a tall girl. When he was explaining her everything, the girl could automatically recognize without looking also. Okay, because Mr. Beam was telling her each and everything, she was able to recognize or imagine on herself that the tall girl was Millie, that the old man who was tying the roses was Peter, and the girl who was on the crutches with the curly hair was Anita. This way, the author, when she was able to tell everything, the narrator realized. What did he realize? He realized that he became more thoughtful and sensitive towards the issues of disability and did not want to leave that place. But he had to go. So he said, Miss Beam, that I am sorry, I have to go. Miss Beam proudly said to him that the system of her school was so special and unique that the visitors also feel so. Means narrator said to Miss Beam that he was not willing to go from there. But as he had some important work, he had to go. Miss Beam said that the system of her school is so special that whosoever comes there feels so, that not to go. Okay, I hope you have understood the whole chapter. What is the school? Why is this chapter named different kind of school? Though it was a school, but there it was not taught from the books or anything, but it was taught to be how to be kind, concerned, responsible. Okay. After this, let's have a look on the word meanings of this chapter. You have to note down these word meanings in your notebook. Let's have a look on it. In this, our first meaning is insight. I-N-S-I-G-H-T. Insight. Insight means to be seen. Next, kindly. Kindly means friendly. Next, plump. Plump means stout. Fat, you can say pleasantly fat, not looking bad like. Okay. Crippled. Crippled means disabled. The one who cannot walk, the one who does not have hand or anything like that, disabled. Misfortune, unfortunate condition. It can be caused anywhere or anytime. You can say bad luck also. Misery, difficulty, unpleasantness. Thoughtless, careless. Thoughtless people, careless people, you can say. The one who does not care at all. Thoughtless means the people who do not think at all. We can say this way. Awful. Awful means bad. It's too cold, na? Glad, happy. Hopping means jumping, leaping. Okay? Very short steps. Crutch. As I told you, crutch. Crutch is used by lame people. Lame people means the people who cannot walk. Crutches are being used by them. You can say a long stick to support a disabled person. Troublesome means annoying, irritating. Frightening, terrifying or making afraid. And the last one is troublesome, that is called difficult. Okay, these were the word meanings. I'll read the words first, the words again for you. Insight, kindly, plump, cripple, misfortune, misery, thoughtless, awful, glad, hopping, crutch, troublesome, frightening. Okay, troublesome is 2 times. Okay, first troublesome is difficulty and second is annoying, irritating. You can take it at any ways. Okay, please note down these word meanings. Read the chapter very carefully again. Listen to the explanation. I'll give you the worksheet also of this. Take care of your health. Wash your hands again and again. Hope to meet you all soon. Bye.